Bobcat Breakdown takes you inside Bryant and Stratton College athletics with interviews with coaches, players, and friends of the BSC athletic program. We will dig inside the game plan and break down the wins and losses, also giving you highlights and breaking news. This is the Bobcat Breakdown. This is Bobcat Network here on the beautiful campus of Wauwatosa, Wisconsin's Bryant Stratton campus. I'm Craig Hart, and this is another great episode of the Bobcat Breakdown. And we have a very special guest, but it's also that time of the year, that time of the season where the weather changed, sports change. Head men's basketball coach going into your second year, JT Gritzmacher. Coach, thank you for being on the show.
Yeah, appreciate it. Appreciate you having me. I'm excited for the season, excited to get going.
Like I said, this is my favorite time of the year. The weather changed outside. Your shoes change from boots to from shoes to boots.
Yeah.
Basketball starts. You guys kick off the season pretty shortly, pretty soon. By the time it's here, you guys have already played the first game. But talk about year one for you. What was that like? Anytime you take over a program, you want to establish your culture probably, and then you took that over with COVID. Just talk about what year one was like for you.
Yeah, I think there were challenges obviously with COVID, just starting the season in January versus now how it would be in November. And whole new guys, 15 new guys last year, and just kind of trying to instill a new culture, like you said, and then just not knowing who's going to be there to play, who's not going to be able to play, and things like that. But for the most part, I think as a staff, myself, we learned a lot from things we did last year, watching film, just kind of changing some things up, doing some things different, and really excited for year two.
Some of the obstacles you just said, I don't know if the average fan who didn't follow college basketball, especially on the lower level that we play on, some opponents had masks on when they played, right? So
yep.
That was probably difficult for some. Our team, we elected to go without the mask, but I remember you guys played Bay College, I think, in the beginning of this year, our first game at Mount Mary. They wore masks. Let's talk about the difference and the obstacles of that and the testing that you guys have to do with other teams.
Yeah. So we, when we played in Minnesota, Michigan, we actually had to wear masks as well. So it was a little different. Our practices were different because we didn't practice at Mount Mary. We practiced at Center Court in Waukesha. So it's just a lot of little things that didn't seem like a big deal, but it was just different for the guys. There was never really a real routine. So getting used to that, and then just not knowing what was going to come next. So that's something we talked about a lot last year, is trying to control what we can control, because could have a game canceled tomorrow and play a different team that wasn't even on the schedule the next day. So just controlling things and making the most of everything.
And through all that, you guys came up one game short, played South Suburban in the regional finals to make it to the national tournament. Talk about that experience this team got last year, even though with all those obstacles, getting that far and being able to coach this group. Now it's a new group. But you go off, take that experience to this upcoming year.
Yeah, I think obviously anytime you're a game away from the national tournament, it's good. It's not, we don't really have moral victories, I guess, but it was nice to get there. I think we did a lot of good things during the year. We did a lot of things we could have probably did a lot better. And we lost to a good South Suburban team. I mean, they had the National Player of the Year, a very good player, and he played really good that night. But I think for the guys that are coming back, the guys that were part of the program last year, getting that far and not making it, I think is kind of like a chip on their shoulder. And being a part of it and seeing the things that we didn't do last year that led to us not winning that game, and kind of try and change those things this year.
This must be a totally different landscape for you now going into year two, because now you have guys that you recruited that's coming back. Now they know what to expect. How does that change coming into the preseason and in practices, having guys that went through the gauntlet last year?
Yeah, I think, like you said, it's huge. Having 6-7 guys we had come back, and just knowing the way I am, I guess, and the way our practice is, knowing little things that might bother me at practice, and telling the new guys like, hey, don't do that. He might get mad about that, or make sure we're doing this because that's something that bothers them. And just knowing those things and kind of helping the new guys get caught up to speed is huge. Last year, I mean, your teaching everybody from day one, so you're going through all the bumps together. This year at least, I feel like we're trying to have a lot more accountability on the team, where maybe I'm not the one who has to get on guys about stuff, because you got returners who know what's going on, and we got a lot of older guys who've been in college, been around college, so they know what it's about, and just having that accountability is huge, and something that we're really trying to do this year with our guys.
Recognition has came this past preseason. I kind of want to get your take on some stuff, especially I know some coaches, you guys are ranked preseason 17th in the country. That's a huge recognition for any team, especially this program, which is only year 6 for us having sports. But in the basketball program also, as a coach, how do you take on that type of recognition, and how do you kind of take that down to the players, and how do you teach? Because on paper, you always like to, hey, it looks great on paper. Yeah. But also, I think for a program like us, we're still building. Great.
Yeah, yep. I think, it's something. I think first off, I think it's a compliment to the players, because usually you get voted by having good teams, so they know there's some good players in here, and I think it's a compliment to them and stuff they do, and believing in what we tell them. But again, it really means nothing at the end of the day, I guess. It's like I told our guys, when we're in jamborees now in the preseason and those things, and even when we start the season, now you're always the hunted. Like, everybody's trying to come and get you. When you're kind of an underdog, you can be the hunter. So now we got to still be the hunter as 17th team in the country or whatever it is, because every night someone's going to give you their best shot. And once we get to that, over that hump and get there, knowing that, I mean, we got a chance to have a pretty special team. But we know that being 17th in the country doesn't reach any goal that we have or mean anything to us. And I think really with some guys, they kind of take it as a slight, because they think maybe they should have been, there's not 16 teams better than them. And I respect that from our guys, because I know the work they put in, and I know what they want to do, so we're just really excited about that.
Talk about some key players. Some players you have a great mix of, like you said, 6 or 7 guys returning from last year. You also add some transfers, some big-time transfers. You want to kind of mention some of the transfers that you guys are implementing in the program with some of the returners?
Yeah, so with our returners first, I guess we got obviously Delaware Hale, and coming back from all-region team last year. Brendan Langford Johnson played a lot of minutes for us, and guys like that, Gary Robertson, just those guys coming back is huge for us. And then Duka Agwu, I think Jerry Vaughn, we got 5-6 guys that were big contributors last year coming on this team, and bringing in the transfers we got. Speaking Wisconsin kids, Quinn Winterfeld, Malik Abdul-Wahid are 2 Wisconsin kids at Brookfield Central and Waupun High School, who were at D2s in Minnesota last year. And then Jeremiah Maldonado and Malik Tidwell. Malik Tidwell is actually in our region at Morton College. Jeremiah was at a junior college in Oklahoma. But those 4 guys, I think, are really, and Braden Ivory as well, who's coming from UW Superior. So those 5 guys are really guys that we're going to rely on this year. They're older. They've all been 1 to 2 years of college. So that's something that helps. They're local guys, and when we took the program over, we said we wanted to get the best players in Wisconsin who had to go junior college or who were coming back, transferring down, and I think that's something we did a good job of this year with Braden, Malik, and Quinton. They've all been, they've exceeded my expectations so far, just how they are as people, how they are at practice, being leaders. They're really good basketball players, which helps obviously. Right. But no, we're excited about them, and they mesh really well with what we have back, like you said. And I think that's the biggest part, is in recruiting especially. You recruit guys, and obviously you want to recruit talent, but you got to recruit what's going to fit what you're about, what your program's about, and I think we did a really good job of that this offseason.
Do you feel you guys have a great mixture of, at any level, especially in the college level, it's good to have some older guys, some old heads on the team? I feel like you got enough old heads to people who win in March and April are teams that have those older guys who have college experience. It seems like you guys have a nice blend of both old guys, returning guys, and some new guys.
Yeah, I think we got some really talented freshmen. Julian Hodges, a kid out of Minnesota, and then you mix them with, we got older guys. We call Gary, we basically call him Grandpa, because we say he's like 23, 24, 25 years old. We don't know anymore. But really having that age is good, because you got those guys. And the young guys, and I tell them, these guys, Gary, Jeremiah, Quinton, I tell them this all the time, is the younger guys are watching everything they do. So whether it's good or bad, they see what they do, and because they know they've been there before. So the hardest part as a leader and the hardest part as one of the leaders of the team is you got to do stuff right all the time because everybody's watching you all the time, whether you know it or not. And I think we're getting better at that. It's just daily habits. We just try to be more consistent. When you got older guys, I treat them like men. Like I'm not treating them like little kids, and they know that. So there's a lot of things that I'm just expecting from them. You know what I mean? It's just kind of our standard, and we're doing a good job of that. And I think just overall as a program, I really like where we're at. Year two, obviously, we haven't played a game yet now, but just culture-wise, I like where we're at and where we're going.
One guy you're going to actually miss that was a big contributor last year, he suffered an injury, so he'll be redshirting this whole year, is Carter Thomas. Talk about the loss of that and what he meant to this team.
Yeah, I mean, with Carter, you can't, you can't replace what he brought, not just basketball-wise, but as a person. I mean, he's an outstanding kid. He was one of the first kids we signed last year. Trusted in us, and then he was actually playing in the event, playing really well in the event, and just came on his knee. And I remember he texted me the next day, obviously, and called me, and he was a little worried about it. And he was just kind of more worried, like, oh, coach, are you going to recruit someone else? Or are you going to get rid of my scholarship? I was like, absolutely not. I mean, he's stuff he brings, even now, without basketball, is huge for us. Just being a leader, we expect him to be the same person. Excuse me. We expect him to be the same person, whether he's on the court or off the court. And right now, he's doing a great job leading off the court. I mean, he's talking to guys. He's still there every single day. He wishes he could play every single day, but he's doing really well. He's back up moving. He's shooting shots, working out. Like, he's doing really well. And when he gets back, which most obviously won't be this year, but next year, he's going to get right back to where he was.
He seems like every time I see him, even last year and this season, like you said, this offseason with the injury, he's a program guy.
Yeah.
Those are the type of players you want in your program, because even when he's hurt, he still wants to be a major part of the program. Sometimes you get guys, they get injured, they get away from the program because they feel so down on themselves. But he's one of those guys, especially for incoming freshmen, they can see this guy was a major contributor last year, and he's still a program guy being around giving them support.
Yeah, and I think, he's 100%. I mean, if you could have 15 guys like him on your team, you would, just the way he is. I still get on him the same way. You can ask him, like, if he comes in with his, sometimes he may come in a little down. I try to help him get back up and just let him know, because there's tough days, especially for him when coaches come in the gym and he knows he could be playing. He's going to have those tough days, but I'm trying to do my best job is just making him know that you're going to get back. Everything's going to come back for you as it was. You just got to believe in yourself and believe in the process that you're going through. And he's huge for us right now, even though he's not going to play a game. Obviously, we wish he was, but he's just for our program. I mean, you can't get much better than him.
Got the program may look a little different from the coach's side. You guys added another assistant coach. Talk about the new addition to the coaching staff and what does he bring to the team.
Yeah, yep. Keaton Stremick we added, Waukesha South native, just recently graduated college, played basketball at Waukesha South, was state three-point champion his senior year. Really good. Just he does a lot of training, skill development, and he brings that to the table. And one thing I like to add is kind of the pieces that maybe I don't do as much anymore, or maybe I'm not as great at. When I was younger, I loved the skill development part. I still do, but it's just my time. I don't have as much time to do it with the guys. So having somebody come in who's really, really good at that, it really helps us. And he's just every morning when we get to the gym, he's got guys in there working out at night, and you're seeing guys' games really transform. So he's really doing a good job with that. Just even knowing Wisconsin kids, there's things we're getting him caught up. He's young, so there's a lot of stuff that he's going to figure out on the training, I guess, on the job training. But he's really good for our program and just relates really well with the guys, and he's doing a really good job.
From a coach staff, you're bringing back Kyle to Pete, the guys.
Yeah, yep. So Kyle, Pete coming back. They did a good job this offseason. All of our recruiting basically starts with them, and they're still doing game plans, and they're doing a lot of good stuff with that. And as a staff this offseason, we really watched every game, just kind of saw things we wanted to change, switch up. So, our style is probably a little different than it was last year. Some different things we do on offense. Defensively, we've changed some things, but one is, I think, just to fit we did things a little different last year based on personnel and things like that. And this year, I think our personnel kind of fits more to the style we want, and it's and we're excited with what we got.
Well, the season is here. Let's talk about some highlighted games you guys are going to actually go play in this upcoming season. Big one on the schedule is this Bay College.
Yeah, so Bay College, we get to go play at the Wisconsin Herd Arena in February 15th, which will be an awesome game. Bay College is a really good team this year. Got a lot. They're kind of like us. They got a lot of transfers, new guys coming in. They'll be one of the best teams in their region. And then just playing in Oshkosh is kind of cool because one, obviously, it's the Wisconsin Herd Arena. Two is just in that part of the state. We got a couple guys from the Fox Valley area, so they'll be able to bring some guys down or bring family down. Getting our face out that way is obviously huge too. I mean, basketball is really good in that area. So playing a game there and then possibly going to the game with the team after whatever is a cool thing. And just playing on that type of court. I think anytime you get to play on any type of professional arena, it's exciting for guys and it's something they enjoy and they can, kind of a memory they have forever. And then, so we're excited about that. Obviously we got a very good schedule this year. So it's going to be, every night's going to be a test.
And one last thing, in year two, what jump do you want to see this team on this program make in this year two for you?
I think right now, the biggest thing we talk about is staying with the process and going. We got to take one step at a time, and with us, I think it's just continuing to. Last year, I think there were some times we maybe didn't win the games that came down to the end, or made some mistakes or whatever. I think this year is just kind of continuing that. And getting over that hump, doing those little things that maybe we didn't do as much last year. And something I told our guys in the locker room at the end of when we lost to South Suburban is, you're up 2 at halftime or whatever, you lose the game in the second half because of different things. But the biggest thing with us is we got to be together in everything we do, and that's got to be 1 through, I think we have 17 guys, so 1 through 17. If one guy's off and not on the bus with everybody else, it's not going to go the right way. So we got to make sure everybody's on the same page. We talk about last year. Our motto or slogan was kind of build the culture this year, going into the season. Just the slogan we have with the team is all in, just being all in to everything we do, and that means sometimes you got to do things that you don't want to do or you don't like doing, and maybe there's a role you don't want to have. But if you're really about the bigger picture of the team and knowing what it can do for you, you got to be all in. Because I tell them, the same thing I tell them is when I was at Southeastern, my second year we were 27-5, and we had a very good basketball team, and we had 15 guys, and I want to say 12 to 13 of them signed Division I or Division II scholarships, and some guys play in 7-8 minutes because you're on a really good basketball team that wins games. And coaches come there and they see that and they know that there's guys, okay, he might not be playing 30 minutes on this team, but he's a really good player and he's just got a really good guy in front of him. Right. So we got to I'm trying to get our guys to understand, if you win basketball games, you'll get recruited. Nobody wants to recruit from teams that lose basketball games. And winning basketball games means you might have to sacrifice some things sometimes. And that might be playing time, might be shots, whatever. But if we can get everybody on the same page, believing that and understanding that, I think we got a chance to do something special.
Well, that's usually the goal of every athlete who comes to junior college, is to get to that next level, 1, 2, or 3. So we feel like this would be a great year. Coming off of last season, I think you guys have a lot to build off the momentum. Like you said, 1 game away from making the national tournament. The guys you brought back, and then to mix that with the new recruits you have. So it should be a fun year. That's the head coach of our men's basketball team. Stick with us. This is the Bobcat Breakdown.